This is the Everyday AI Show, the everyday podcast where we simplify AI and bring its power to your fingertips. Listen daily for practical advice to boost your career, business, and everyday life.
Do you know ChatGPT? Well, if you do, maybe today by the end of this live stream at least, you could be walking away with $1,000. We're going to be doing something fun, something a little bit different today to see, hey, who out there in our audience knows large language models? Do you actually know what you're talking about when it comes to ChatGPT or Perplexity, Claude, etc.? This is the moment. This is the live stream where we are going to find out. So what's going on, y'all? My name is Jordan Wilson, and thanks a million. More on that in a second, but this is Everyday AI. So if you're new here, this is a daily live stream podcast and free daily newsletter helping everyday people learn and leverage generative AI. So we've been doing this for about a year and change, actually about 15 months, bringing a daily podcast. So we've had some of the biggest names in the world, literally, with guests like from Microsoft and IBM and OpenAI and, Amazon, some of the biggest companies in the world, NVIDIA, on our show. And we've been very lucky to have this platform to hopefully help a lot of you all learn generative AI. It's something that, to wake up and do this every single day, I love doing it because I know that you all need a place where you can come and learn AI. And we're hitting a little bit of a milestone with nearing a million episodes. Sorry, not a million episodes, although it seems like a million downloads. So before we get this thing kicked off, we are going to be giving away $1,000 if someone can ace our little live quiz today. So if you are listening on the podcast, you can't participate in the giveaway, but you can still take the quiz so you can know. So even if you are watching this later and it is not, July 23rd at 7:34 a.m. Central Standard Time right now, wherever you're tuning in, it's okay. You can still kind of take this quiz. You can't enter into our contest. So before we get this started, make sure if you haven't already, go to youreverydayai.com. Today, you're actually going to want to, because as part of this Thanks a Million campaign launch, we're going to be launching a separate campaign in there. So before we get started, let's do as we do every day by going over the AI news. So yeah, if you're new here, we usually start the show off with a little bit of AI news, which is important today because Meta should be launching their new large language model in a little more than 3 hours. All right, so Meta actually has a countdown on Product Hunt showing they'll be launching their new model at about 11:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. So Meta's Llama 3 model performed well when they launched their small and medium versions back in April, but they did withhold their larger 405 billion parameter or 405B version, which is presumably what they'll be launching today. But leak benchmarks online show a new name of Llama 3.1, and it also shows the 405B or their large model excelling in tests like certain MMLU category tests, achieving similar or higher scores to the world-leading model in GPT-4o. So the open source nature of Llama 3.1 could democratize access to advanced AI technology, fostering innovation in the tech industry. This development also highlights the growing power and potential of open source AI against closed source proprietary models. So Meta is by far the leader in the open source large language model game. And also reports are showing that there may be a paid AI model coming out and an AI studio. So we'll have that recapped in our newsletter. We'll wait until the announcement so you can get all of the freshest details. So that means all eyes are on OpenAI to see how they'll respond, or if they'll respond. Will they be unveiling another new model after they just came out with GPT-4o mini? I don't know. But Senate Democrats in the US, at least, are demanding OpenAI detail efforts to make its AI safe. So Senate Democrats are pressing OpenAI for transparency on its safety measures following concerns over rushed testing of its latest AI model, according to them. So Senate Democrats in the U.S. have just sent a letter to OpenAI demanding detailed information about its safety protocols for artificial intelligence. The letter follows a report from the Washington Post citing employees warning that the model rushed through safety testing of its latest AI model. So, speaking of OpenAI, our last little tidbit of AI news, all kind of connected today, just so happens, because in response, OpenAI has just minutes ago put out a statement to this response from lawmakers here in the US. And they highlighted their updated preparedness framework, which we will be linking to in the newsletter. But they said, we won't release a new model if it crosses a medium risk threshold until we implement sufficient safety interventions. So yeah, OpenAI essentially just now saying, hey, we're not going to release anything until it meets our safety standards. But funny how that works, right? When the company themselves is the one policing it. All right, so there's going to be more on those stories and a lot more on our website and in our newsletter. So if you haven't already, please go to that. All right, enough about that. Let's talk about what this campaign is here. So, hey, if you are tuning in live, sorry, we couple minutes delayed. Obviously, on a big live show like this, my internet stopped working, my streaming service stopped working. But hey, if you are tuning in live, let me know where you're from. What do you do? Because I looked at the guest list. There's a lot of people here, people from trillion-dollar companies in big tech, startup founders, entrepreneurs, marketers, small business owners. So let me know. And so I always know our live stream is working, but let me know where you're joining us from and if you think you're going to do well today. All right. So what is this Thanks a Million campaign all about? Well, it's celebrating you. So it's a pretty big milestone to hit 1 million downloads in the podcast world. Very few podcasts actually do that. So we'll be getting there probably in about, looks like a week or so. So we wanted to do something to actually celebrate you. I think so many times, like a common thing podcasters do is they, throw a little meet and greet and charge people. I'm like, that's dumb. Like, I want to give stuff away. I want to hopefully provide value, right? Because that's what everyday AI is all about. So we are going to be launching in our newsletter today our Thanks a Million giveaway. Yes. So we are doing a live kind of contest and giveaway to launch this, the part of the bigger Thanks a Million giveaway. So you're going to be wanting to look in today's newsletter and every day because we're going to be leaking out prizes, not every day, but every couple of days. So one of our big prizes is a year subscription to ChatGPT or your large language model of choice. So if you want to go for the premium version of Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, it's up to you. So we're giving away a year of ChatGPT or similar. We're giving away a 90-minute consult with myself, and we are going to be dripping out a lot of new kind of prizes and giveaway over the course of the next couple of weeks. This contest is going to be going through the end of August. So every couple of days, you'll probably hear me release something. All right. Enough of that. Let's get this thing going. Let's get this thing started. Again, this is only, as a reminder, live real-time answers only. All right. So you got to be quick. Number one. Number two, read the full contest rules in this post. And then number three, you need to put in full answers. All right. We're going to go through very quickly. I think we have 25 questions. All right. So we're going to do the answers at the end, but you need to get your answers in live in real time. All right. So if you do want to be entered for this, you have to, number one, get every single answer right. Some are pretty easy. Some are fairly medium. Some are trick questions. But if you listen every single day, I feel pretty confident you're going to do very well on this quiz, especially if you answer or if you listen to the podcast every day. If you read the newsletter, I think we might get a couple people. So if more than one people get this all right, we're going to split that $1,000. If no one gets it right, no one wins. But don't worry, we're going to be giving away a lot of other things in our Thanks a Million giveaway. And as a reminder for our live stream, you do need to write down the full answer. So because there's multiple questions and the timing of the comments is going to be tricky. So if we're on number one, and the answer is C, you need to put 1C in the comments. If we're on 10 and the answer is B, you put 10B. So if you don't do that, you're not gonna be entered to win. All right. Hey, Jay says he knew he should have taken some notes during the show. Jill, I like this. Jeopardy with Jordan. All right. So let's get ready. Get because we're going to go fast. All right. So I'm going to give a little more time on the first couple of questions to make sure everyone is with me. All right. So question one, what does the O in GPT-4o stand for? Is it 1A, optimized, 1B, open source, 1C, omni, 1D, online, or 1E, operational. All right. So I know there's a little bit of a live stream delay. So I got to give you all 5 or 10 seconds for each question. So as a reminder, yes. All right. So it looks like for the most part, people are going. I will drop the answers in the live stream at the very end after we go through all the questions. I'm going to be giving the answers. So I'm going to give everyone a second here to get their answers in. Again, put 1A optimized, 1B open source, 1C omni, 1D online, 1E operational. All right. And it looks like so far everyone's still in it. All right. I'm going to give the answers at the end, but all right. I'm going to give everyone a second here. And hey, we're probably going to do a little bit of a leaderboard too. So, who knows? Maybe I'll be hiring the people who get the most right. All right. It looks like there is going to be a little bit of a delay, so this might be a longer show. All right, next question. Here we go. We're moving on. So if you want to participate, maybe you're in the kitchen, run over real quick so and get this first question in, and we're going to be going through the rest of them much quicker here because I know there is a little bit of a delay. All right, here we go. Number 2. When did OpenAI incorporate? So 2A, 2015, 2B, 2018, 2C, 2020, 2D, 2022. And yeah, we're going to be going faster so people can't look everything up online, but I am going to give you a second. So when did OpenAI incorporate? 2A, 2015, 2B, 2018, 2C, 2020, 2D, 2022. And hey, podcast people, you can't win the prize, but you can still take this quiz. So if you're listening, go ahead and jot down your answers. Answers will be coming in at the end. All right, let's get everyone's answers. It looks like they're rolling in. Wow, our live stream audience is pretty smart, y'all. Y'all really want a piece of this. All right, here we go. You got to be quick. You got to be quick. So here we go. Number 3. How can free ChatGPT users access the new GPT-4o mini model? So the model that was just released. 3A, they can't access it. Only ChatGPT Plus members can. 3B, in the normal dropdown at the top of the screen. 3C, in the model switcher at the end of a prompt response. 3D, which is B and C only, or 3E, none of the above. All right, so live stream audience, go ahead and get that in. I'm keeping the screen up here for you all to read. I'll make it a little bigger and not cut off any of the answers. There we go. So how can you access the new GPT-4o mini model that was just released? So for free users, 3A, they can't access it. 3B in the normal dropdown. 3C and the model switcher at the end of a prompt response. 3D, B and C only, or 3E, none of the above. All right. Get your answers in, live stream audience. You're doing good. Let's keep it going. If you're listening to the podcast at home, you should still participate. Let me know how you actually did. All right. 4. What company released Claude 3.5 Opus? I'll give you a hint. This one's a trick question. All right. 4A, Anthropic. 4B, OpenAI. 4C, Google. 4D, none of the above. So what company released Claude 3.5 Opus? 4A, Anthropic. 4B, OpenAI. 4C, Google. 4D, none of the above. Again, we're testing everyone's large language model, ChatGPT knowledge here live. All right. I'll leave this up for another second. I'll give you guys at least, 15 seconds here on the screen. All right. Number 5. What is the reported MMLU score for GPT-4o mini? We talked about this multiple times on the podcast Friday, multiple times in the newsletter Friday and Monday. So is it 5A, 72%, 5B, 78%, 5C, 82%, 5D, 86%, or 5E, 90%? All right, y'all are doing great. As a reminder, make sure to get your the full number and letter combination in there. It looks like y'all are following the directions. That's great. All right. I'm going to wait for the rest of our 5s to rattle in here. All right, there we go. We got them coming in. Let's keep this thing going. All right, so number 6, according to reports, about how much more energy does a single prompt to ChatGPT use compared to a Google search? All right. So is it 6A, about 2 times more? 6B, about 10 times more? 6C, about 50 times more? Or 6D, a Google search actually uses more energy? Or 6E, none of the above? All right. So again, the options there for how much more energy does a single prompt use to ChatGPT compared to a Google search? Is it 6A, 2 times more? 6B, 10 times more? 6C, 50 times more? 6D, a Google search uses more energy? Or 6E, none of the above? All right. We're going to get this one going fast, y'all. We can't give you too much time to go on our website at youreverydayai.com, where actually all of these answers live. So if you watch every day, read every day, you're going to be doing well here. All right. Number 7. What does the GPT abbreviation stand for? All right. So is it 7A, generative prompting techniques? 7B, generative pre-training transformation? 7C, generative pre-trained transformer? Or 7D, generative AI prompting transformer? So again, is it 7A, generative prompting techniques? 7B, generative pre-training transformation? 7C, generative pre-trained transformer? Or 7D, generative AI prompting transformer? All right. Looks like our answers for 7 are coming in. Let's get it going to number 8. Here we go. What can free users not do in ChatGPT? All right. So we're saying logged in users, but on the free plan, what can they not do? So is it 8A, use browse with Bing? 8B, build GPTs? 8C, use GPTs, custom GPTs? 8D, all of the above? Or 8E, B and C? All right, so again, 8A, use browse with Bing. 8B, build custom GPTs. 8C, use GPTs. 8D, all of the above. Or 8E, which is B and C. Are y'all getting like flashbacks to, oh my gosh, this quiz? Did I study enough, right? All right, it's supposed to be fun, so hopefully no one's sweating over here. Although you could still be in the running to win $1,000 if you get everything right. All right, number 9. How does the functionality of ChatGPT differ between free and paid users? All right, so 9A. All right, so we do have some questions that are a little similar. Some are a little tricky. Some are just a little repetitive to see if you actually can get this one right. All right, so 9A, only paid users can access GPT 4.0. 9B, only paid users can build custom GPTs. 9C, only paid users can use DALL-E. 9D, which is A and B only, or 9E, which is B and C only. All right. I got to take a sip of coffee. This is a lot of words for me. Get a couple extra seconds on this one. So again, how does the functionality of ChatGPT differ between free and paid users? 9A, only paid users can access GPT 4.0. 9B, only paid users can build custom GPTs. 9C, only paid users can use DALL-E. 9A, which is A and B only. 9E, which is B and C only. All right, you got it. Here we go. Number 10. We're almost halfway there. What is the approximate size and parameters of the GPT-4 model? Again, this is according to reports, but we talk about this all the time. So is it 10A, 1.6 billion parameters? 10B, 180 billion parameters? 10C, 3.6 trillion parameters? 10D, 1.8 trillion parameters? Or 10E, which is 180 trillion parameters? All right. We'll give everyone a second. Again, the options are 10A, 1.6 billion, 10B, 180 billion, 10C, 3.6 trillion, or 10D, 1.8 trillion, or 10E, 180 trillion parameters. All right. Let's keep this thing going. Keep getting these answers in, y'all. I love it. I know I see a lot of our everyday AI regulars out here crushing it. All right, let's keep this thing going. Even if you joined a little late, you might not be able to win the whole thing, but I'm at least going to do a percentage right. So, even if you join in a little late, you might not be able to win the $1,000 prize or split it if more than one person gets it right, but I'm still going to give percentage scores, right? So, maybe you joined in halfway, but you get them all right. That's still pretty good. All right. Number 11. What is the actual context window of GPT-4o inside of ChatGPT Plus? Ready? 11A is 164,000 tokens. 11B, 32,000 tokens. 11C, 128,000 tokens. 11D, 16,000 tokens. 11E, 200,000 tokens. Again, some of these are straightforward. Some of these are trick questions. Some of these are cutting through companies' marketing and giving you actual truth. All right. So again, 11, what is the actual context window of GPT-4o inside of ChatGPT Plus? So 11A, 164,000 tokens. 11B, 32,000 tokens. 11C, 128,000 tokens. 11D, 16,000 tokens. 11E, 200,000 tokens. All right. 12. Ready? Inside of ChatGPT Plus, describe how GPTs work. All right. 12A, you can only use GPTs in GPT mode, but not in the default mode. 12B, you can use 3 at a time, hitting the enter key once. 12C, you can use an unlimited number of GPTs in a single chat, but only 1 at a time. And 12D, you can use up to 10 GPTs in a single chat, but only 1 at a time. All right, live stream audience, get your vote in. As a reminder, podcast audience, we had to do something special for the live stream audience here. So you cannot enter if you're listening on the podcast into our little contest, but I hope you're still taking notes here and doing a self-test, self-assessment. All right, let's make sure we got some answers for 12 rolling in. It looks like we do. All right. Looks like we got at least a couple dozen people participating live. Love to see it. All right, here we go. Enough time on that one. Number 13. Yeah, we got some perplexity. Y'all, we just had a perplexity episode or two, so we got some perplexity questions in there. All right, so in Perplexity Pro, which of the following models are not available for use to power Perplexity? All right, so which ones are not available? 13A, GPT-4o Mini. 13B, Claude Sonnet 3.5. 13C, Sonar Large. 13D, Sonar Medium. 13E, which is A and D. Or 13F, which is B and C. Yeah, little tricky here, y'all. Little tricky. All right, 13 in Perplexity Pro, which of the following models are not available for use to power Perplexity? 13A, GPT-4o Mini. 13B, Claude Sonnet 3.5. 13C, Sonar Large. 13D, Sonar Medium. 13E, A and D. 13F, B and C. All right. Are you still running in circles trying to figure out how to actually grow your business with AI? Maybe your company has been tinkering with large language models for a year or more, but can't really get traction to find ROI on Gen AI. Hey, this is Jordan Wilson, host of this very podcast. Companies like Adobe, Microsoft, and NVIDIA have partnered with us because they trust our expertise in educating the masses around generative AI to get ahead. And some of the most innovative companies in the country hire us to help with their AI strategy and to train hundreds of their employees on how to use Gen AI. So whether you're looking for ChatGPT training for thousands or just need help building your front-end AI strategy, you can partner with us too, just like some of the biggest companies in the world do. Go to youreverydayai.com/partner to get in contact with our team, or you can just click on the partner section of our website. We'll help you stop running in those AI circles and help get your team ahead and build a straight path to ROI on Gen AI. With Perplexity Pro, what is the newest model or the latest release date that you can use? 14A, GPT-4o. 14B, GPT-4 Turbo. 14C, Claude 3.5 Sonnet. 14D, Claude 3 Opus, or 14E, Llama 3.1, 450B. You guys probably know that's not probably an answer, right? When it hasn't been released, it's released in a few hours. I just threw that one in there. Hey, that's a gimme. You know, it's not 14E. That's just so you know, it's always up to date, right? We keep everyday AI up to date to the minute. All right. So with Perplexity Pro, what is the newest model? Is it 14A GPT-4o, 14B GPT-4 Turbo, 14C Claude 3.5 Sonnet, 14D Claude 3 Opus, or 14E Llama 3.1? All right, get your guesses in. 15, here we go. How much does the Pro version of Perplexity cost per month? All right, is it 15A, $10, 15B, $15, 15C, $20, 15D, $25, or 15E, $30? All right. Don't got to read through that one multiple times. We're going quick here, y'all. Again, you got to get your answers in real time. You can't get them back 5 minutes later. We're moving on. Get your answer. 3, 2, 1, and next. All right. Here we go. Don't worry. If there's a little 10-second delay on your end and not on others, I'll be nice. All right. Here we go. 16. Which of the following names or modes or features does Perplexity Pro offer? 16A, gems. 16B, collections. 16C, power-ups. 16D, pages. 16E, all of the above. 16F, A and D only. Or 16G, B and D only. All right. So again, which of the following names or features of modes of Perplexity Pro exist? 16A gems, 16B collections, 16C power-up, 16D pages, 16E all of the above, 16F A and D only, or 16G B and D only. 17. What coding languages does ChatGPT write in? All right, get your answers in quick, y'all. We're going to pick up the pace to make sure we don't have anyone using the open book test. 17A, HTML. 17B, CSS. 17C, Python. 17D, JavaScript. 17E, all of the above. Or 17F, none of the above. All right, so which coding languages does ChatGPT write in? 17A, HTML. 17B, CSS. 17C, Python. 17D, JavaScript. 17E, all of the above. 17F, none of the above. All right, let's keep it going. 18. Can you upload videos into ChatGPT Plus? 18A, yes, but only videos created inside of the default mode of ChatGPT Plus. 18B, no, ChatGPT doesn't support video upload. Or 18C, yes, ChatGPT can accept certain video formats. All right, so 18A, yes, but only videos created inside of the default mode of ChatGPT Plus. 18B, no, ChatGPT does not support video uploads. Or 18C, yes, ChatGPT can accept certain video formats. Let's keep this thing going, y'all. 19. And hey, I'm glad. Thank you all for who are still with me. Here we go. 19. What information, if any, can ChatGPT Plus understand when you upload a video? 19A, it can't read or accept video inputs, Jordan, you dummy. 19B, it can understand the context of the entire video with computer vision. Or 19C, it can understand duration, frame rate, format, codec, resolution, etc. All right. Yeah, we've mentioned this once. Some of these things we mentioned 50 times. Some of these things only once or twice on the podcast. Sometimes we just sneak these things in the newsletter, but every single one of these things we've talked about at least once. All right. 20. We got our last 5 here, y'all. Can you create a PowerPoint file inside of ChatGPT with a one-click to download? All right. So we're not talking about, I can copy and paste it and then put it into PowerPoint. No, one-click download. Can you create a one-click download PowerPoint inside of ChatGPT? 20A, yes, in the default mode of ChatGPT Plus. 20B, no, you cannot create a PowerPoint file inside of ChatGPT. 20C, yes, with the use of third-party GPTs, or 20D, A and C, which is in the default mode and with third-party GPTs. All right. Live stream audience, doing great. I see a lot of right answers. I see some incorrect ones as well. Let's go on. Again, our last couple of questions here, and then we're going to have all of the answers. So 21, what is the minimum number of seats, respectively, for the ChatGPT Teams and the ChatGPT Enterprise plans? All right, so you're going to hear a combination of two numbers. Teams is first, Enterprise is second. So is it 21A, 5 and 250? Again, the minimum number of seats for ChatGPT Teams and Enterprise. 21A, 5 and 250. 21B, 3 and 150. 21C, 2 and 50. 21D, 2 and 100. Or 21E, none of the above. Did you study for the Thanks a Million quiz, y'all? Did you study? All right, I see answers for 21, so here we go to 22. 22, by default, which large language model has no way to connect to the internet? So again, by default, we're not talking about third-party Chrome extensions, whatever. All right, so which one cannot connect to the internet by default in some way, shape, or form? 22A, Gemini. 22B, ChatGPT. 22C, Claude. 22D, Microsoft Copilot. 22E, all of the above. Or 22F, A and C only. Which one cannot connect to the internet in any way? 22A, Gemini. 22B, ChatGPT. 22C, Claude. 22D, Microsoft Copilot. 22E, all of the above. 22F, A and C only. Gemini and Claude only. All right, our last three questions. All right. Hopefully I updated the this one here. So 23 might be a freebie. I'm seeing the answers are all the same. So I got to wait until I actually get my answer sheet up here. Which company? All right. Hopefully I got this one right. So which company, either using the front end or the API, currently has the largest context window in their large language model? So is it 22A, Gemini? 22B, ChatGPT, 22C, Claude, 22D, Microsoft Copilot, 22E, all of the above, which doesn't make too much sense, does it? 22F, A and C only. All right, so I'll go ahead and tell you. It's probably either 22A, Gemini, 22B, ChatGPT, 22C, Claude, or 22D, Microsoft Copilot. Which large language model has the largest context window? All right, let me wait to make sure we get some answers in for 23. There we go. All right. And y'all, I'm sorry on that. It does say 22, so it should be 23. I'm sorry. So for 23, which company has the largest context window? Hey, I'm a human. I make mistakes, right? So 23A, Gemini. Which company has the largest context window? 23A, Gemini. 23B, ChatGPT. 23C, Claude. 23D, Microsoft Copilot. 23E, all of the above. 23F. Sorry about that. Those should all be 23. All right, so I'll give everyone a second to correct their answer on that one. All right. Yeah, Jennifer. Whoops. Yeah, whoops. Hey, I'm human. Right? If this was done by AI, it'd be too perfect and too polished, right? All right, here we go. Last two questions. 24. What are the different focus modes in Perplexity? I'm going to go quick so you can't look this one up. 24A, all YouTube academic science. 24B, all academic, writing, math, video, socials. 24C, all writing, academic, data, video. 24D, all writing, science, social, writing. All right. So what are the different focus modes that you can use in Perplexity? I'm going to wait until I see an answer for 24 come in. There we go. Cyber S from YouTube. We got the YouTubes joining. Love to see it. All right. And our last question, y'all. Which modes inside of ChatGPT Plus does not allow you to upload files? Again, inside of ChatGPT Plus, not the API, which mode can you not upload files? Is it 25A GPT-4o, 25B GPT-4 legacy, so the quote unquote old school GPT-4? I made another mistake here. So 25C should actually say GPT-4o mini, or 25D, none of the above. They all allow file upload. Again, 25A is GPT-4o, 25B is GPT-4 legacy, 25C is GPT-4o mini, should say mini right there. So 25C is GPT-4o mini, or 25D, none of the above. They all allow file upload. Woo! Woo, woo, woo. We made it to the end, y'all. We made it to the end. I'm going to wait for you all to get your last answers in. I know there's a little bit of a delay depending on your internet connection, depending on which platform you're joining us from. But before we go over the answers, what do you all think? Did you get them all right? How many out of 25 do you think you got right? Did you get 25 out of 25? Did you get 5? Did you get maybe 15? What do you think? Are you taking home? Is anyone out there super confident that they're taking home that $1,000 prize? Again, $1,000 only to our live stream audience that got their answers in real time. Sorry, podcast audience, but how many do you guys think you got right? Let me know. We got some clap emojis right here. Enrique says that was tough. Yeah. There were a few trick questions. I warned y'all. I said some are dead easy. Some there's a little bit of trick questions, right? We got a joke. We got a joke here. Someone says, glad Harvey Castro wasn't here. Yeah. We'll have to ask him why he wasn't, right? Some people said, I think I got 50%, confused on 6. Bruce says 19. All right, Bruce, pretty good. All right. So let's get into the answers right away. Jay says 21 out of 25. Hey, that's a passing grade. Fred says he got about 18. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's go to the answers. We're going to go through the answers pretty quick. Hey, if you don't understand them or don't believe me, go ahead, leave a comment. You know I got screenshots. You know I got receipts, y'all. Come on. I spend more time investigating ChatGPT and other large language models than I'd like to admit. All right. So number 1, what does the O in GPT-4o stand for? 1C, it stands for Omni. So again, if you are keeping track, and also let me know, you can self-grade yourself. Did you get this one right? Let me know. You even leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a yes or a no if you got it right. I'm going to go through and check. Don't worry, but I want to hear and also know in real time which ones maybe people didn't get right, because maybe I need to do a better job teaching that, right? I know some of them were trick questions, but if you're listening to the podcast at home, go ahead also. Did you get it right or did you get it wrong? Keep track at home. All right. Number 2, when did OpenAI incorporate? So the answer there is 2A 2015. Number 3, how can free ChatGPT users access the new GPT-4o mini model? The answer here is 3C in the model switcher at the end of a prompt response. We talked about this multiple times, but you cannot, if you are on a free account, you can actually not get it in the drop down. You can, which is weird, and that might change. But right now, and we shared this in the newsletter and I believe on our YouTube channel. But if you are on the free version, the only way you can get it is in the model switcher after you get a response. You can't get it in the normal top menu drop down. So interesting one there. 4, what company released Claude 3.5 Opus? Yeah, this one was a trick question, y'all. The answer is actually 4D, none of the above. It is not Anthropic because Anthropic has not released Claude 3.5 Opus. Yeah, that one was a trick question, but you got to stay up to date. The only 3.5 there is from Claude is Sonnet. Yeah, trick question. No one has released 3.5 Opus. It does not exist. Did I trip you up there or did you catch that one? I saw a lot of people got that one right. I saw a lot of 4Ds. All right. So the answer there is 4D, none of the above. 5, what is the reported MMLU or massive multitasking language understanding score for GPT-4o mini? The answer on that was 5C, 82%, which is a very impressive score for a small, large language model that costs so little. Y'all, I still cannot underestimate how big this GPT-4o mini model actually is. I mean, we'll see what happens with Meta here in a couple of hours with their Llama 3.1, their 405B model. But y'all, GPT-4o mini for developers, I cannot understate how big this is and how exciting it actually is for the future of generative AI. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Hey, is anyone still is anyone still 100%? I saw a lot of people get the trick question. There's only been one trick question. I think I only put in 2 or 3 trick questions in all of this, y'all. All right, number 6, according to reports, how much more energy does a single prompt to ChatGPT use compared to a Google search? The answer there is 6B, about 10 times more. Just mentioned that one. Think about 2 weeks ago when we had the Lord of the Trees CEO and founder on. It was a great podcast and a great newsletter, I'd say. So the answer there is 6B. 7, what does the GPT abbreviation stand for? The answer there is 7C, Generative Pre-trained Transformer. That one's not actually a trick, y'all. I think everyone got that one, right? That one's pretty straightforward, right? 8, what can free users not do in ChatGPT? Well, in this question, I asked it 2 different ways back to back to see which one of y'all could actually get this right. So it is 8B, build GPTs. So free users can use Browse with Bing. They can use GPTs, but they cannot build them. All right. Number 9, how does the functionality of ChatGPT differ between free and paid users? So the answer there is 9E, which is B and C only. So B and C are correct here. So only paid users can build custom GPTs and only paid users can use DALL-E. So again, this is inside of ChatGPT. Free users cannot build custom GPTs. They can also not use DALL-E. It's kind of funny though. I was testing all these things over the last week just to make sure OpenAI hasn't changed anything. And in one of my free accounts, I asked ChatGPT to, hey, use DALL-E and give me a picture of a Chicago skyscraper. And it can't use DALL-E, obviously, but it actually used advanced data analysis to give me this like block version. So it was kind of funny. Yeah. In free, you actually have access to a lot, but not DALL-E and not building custom GPTs. 10, what is the approximate size in parameters of the GPT-4o model, the GPT-4 model? The answer is 10D, 1.8 trillion parameters. And if you've taken our PPP course, you know that, right? Do we have any PPP prime prompt polish graduates listening live? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts were. And have you taken the updated version? I think we have one today, maybe. My calendar says we have one today. You know what? I'm going to say, if you want access to it, actually, let me first, I hate to put this on pause for another 10 seconds. Let me log in and actually make sure that we have a prime prompt polish course going on today before I promote it here. What is today? July 23rd. Do we have one? No, but we have one. What date? July 25th. So we have one Thursday. So if you want access to that, go ahead, type in PPP. I'll make sure you get access. All right. 10. We did 10. 11. What is the actual context window of GPT-4o inside of ChatGPT Plus? This one was kind of a trick question, but not if you tune in all the time. The answer here is 11B, 32,000 tokens. So OpenAI, they don't really tell you this. They just say, oh, our model has a 128K context window. It does if you're using the API, but I'm asking here specifically inside of ChatGPT Plus, inside of the ChatGPT interface. And y'all, I always bring receipts. Look at this. I did a test just last night, a simple thing, and I have my token counter up right there. I'm saying my name, my favorite color, deep dish pizza, my favorite food, what I think of the Chicago Bears. I do these in different chats. So you'll see here at 31,800 tokens, I ask ChatGPT to recall those facts, and it recalls it all accordingly. Hey, I ask, what is my name, my favorite color, favorite food, etc. It gets it all right at 31,000 tokens. In a brand new chat doing the exact same thing, I just put in a bunch of nonsense there in between to test its memory. At 32,900 tokens, I asked the same thing. What is my name? What is my favorite color? What is my favorite food? What do I think about the Bears? And ChatGPT no longer remembers. So, y'all, we always test things, right? So big companies, they always give you marketing. They say, oh, we're the best at this. We actually go out there and test it. We waste hours testing all the new features, all of these things. So that 128K, that is only in the API. If you're using ChatGPT, it is 32K. A lot of people get that wrong because very few people are dorks like me and are out here testing this. I test this multiple times a week. Carl's asking, how do you get a token counter to show in ChatGPT? You know what? Go check out our YouTube channel, Carl. There is a Chrome extension. So yeah, that information is in a YouTube channel. Just go type in tokens. You can also listen to a 40-minute podcast episode about the tokenization process. If you're a geek like me, you might like it. All right. 12, inside of ChatGPT Plus, describe how GPTs work. The answer there is 12C. You can use an unlimited number of GPTs in a single chat, but only one at a time. Yeah, so it's not like plugins where you used to be able to use 3 plugins at once in a single prompt. You can use an unlimited number of GPTs, but you can only use or call or @mention one at a time. All right. And if you've taken our PPP Pro course, I show you some of the best practices and tips and tricks on how to do that. All right, so 13, in Perplexity Pro, which of the following models are not available for use to power Perplexity? The answer there is 13E, which is GPT-4o Mini. That is not available. And Sonar Medium, which I made up. So the other models are available. The answer there for 13 is 13E. All right. We're going to keep this thing going. Had to get a drink of water. 14. With Perplexity Pro, what is the newest model, the latest release date that you can use? So at least as of this morning when I double checked, it is 14C Claude 3.5 Sonnet. So at least right now, GPT-4o Mini is not released. The newest model is 3.5 Sonnet. So we'll see if they end up adding 4o Mini or if they add Llama 3.1 or if they add something else. But right now, the answer is 14C. 15, how much does the Pro version of Perplexity cost per month? The answer is 15C, $20. All right, 16, which of the following names of models or features does Perplexity Pro offer? The answer there is 16G, which is B&D only. So that's collections and pages. All right, so 16G. Yeah, gems, that's Google. Power-ups, I believe that's like Poe or something else. So yeah, not really a trick question there. If you use Perplexity, that one was easy. 17. What coding languages does ChatGPT write in? The answer there is all of the above, 17E. So yeah, I can actually write in a bunch of other languages, but I can do HTML, CSS, Python, JavaScript, etc. All right, so 17E, all of the above. 18. This one's a trick question, y'all. Hey, I had to throw one in there that I don't see other people talking about. We literally push ChatGPT to its breaking points, right? And a lot of people don't know. Your Billy Boy influencer there who you think is a ChatGPT genius, who, by the way, I invited all the quote unquote ChatGPT influencers to today's show. Guess how many showed up? 0. Why? Because they don't actually know what they're talking about. All right. They're just in all these engagement groups and, they all share each other's posts. So they think, oh, everyone's going to think we're smart. They don't know. All right. So can you upload videos into ChatGPT Plus? Yes, you actually can. So yes, ChatGPT can accept certain video formats. All right. So right now you can't create any videos in the default mode of ChatGPT Plus, although in the future we might get that with Sora. And if you listen to our show, I believe on Friday, a little key on that. But the answer here is 18C. Hey, live stream audience, did you guys know that? Did you guys know? And we brought receipts. So as an example here, sorry, just coughed. Yeah, this whole thing's unedited, unscripted. So sometimes you hear me cough or sniff. Sorry, y'all. That's how we keep this thing the realest thing in artificial intelligence. So I have a screenshot here. If you don't believe me on the podcast, go in and do this yourself. ChatGPT Plus. I uploaded a small MP4 video file. I said, tell me everything about this video. Look at that. It accepts the upload. Then it uses Python. All right. It uses Python code to analyze the video. Then not only that, it pulls out a screen grab, right? You'll see here, this was when Taplio sponsored the show, the Everyday AI show a couple months ago. So I didn't tell it anything. I just uploaded a video. It went through, it pulled out a lot of specific information, including things like file format, codec, size, frame grabs. And it even started to tell me about the video based on certain frames. Yeah. Did you guys know that? Jay had a question here about pages and threads. There's both. Pages and threads exist. All right. So, but did you guys know this about ChatGPT? So many people don't know. You can actually upload a video in there. Can you do anything of like you can in Google Gemini, where you can actually, kind of quote unquote know everything that's going on? No, but ChatGPT accepts videos. People don't know that. All right. Related information, 19. What information, if any, can ChatGPT Plus understand when you upload a video? The answer there is 19C. It can understand duration, frame rate, format, codec, resolution, etc. And then also, you can tell it to even grab using Python code. You can have it grab certain frames. So in theory, you could understand the context of an entire video, but you would have to prompt the heck out of that thing, and it would take a very long time. So just wait until the next mode of ChatGPT comes out when it can understand video by default with computer vision. But right now, you can technically understand at least what's going on by pulling out individual frames. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that. 20. Can you create a PowerPoint file inside of ChatGPT with one click to download? The answer is 20D, A, and C. So yes, people don't know. In the default mode of ChatGPT Plus, people are sleeping on the new version of advanced data analysis, the V2. The V2 version, it uses Python, and it literally creates a PowerPoint presentation. You don't even need a third-party GPT. It's not going to be super pretty, right? It's not going to be designed. It's essentially blank text, but you can literally create a PowerPoint presentation with nothing else. So the answer there was D, which is the default mode, and through the use of third-party GPTs. So by using third-party GPTs, we go over a lot of those on our YouTube channel. You can do the same thing. Those have design elements. But yeah, another one. People sleep on the power of ChatGPT. That's why we call it a business operating system. That's why companies pay us thousands of dollars to teach, 50 of their employees how to use ChatGPT, because it is unlimited potential if you know what you're doing, if you know how to use it. If you've spent thousands of hours trying to break ChatGPT, you know a lot. And hey, if you're still tuning in, you know a lot now. 21. What is the minimum number of seats, respectively, for the ChatGPT Teams and ChatGPT Enterprise plans? So the answer there is 21E, none of the above. This one was kind of a trick question, but the answer is actually 2 is the minimum number of seats for ChatGPT Teams, and 150 is the minimum number of seats for ChatGPT Enterprise. So a little bit of a trick question there. But I saw a couple people actually got it right. So that is 21E. Last couple of questions. By default, which large language model has no way to connect to the internet? Right now, that is 22C Claude. The rest of those, Gemini, ChatGPT, Copilot, they all have a way to access the internet in some way, shape, or form. All right. Hey, I like this. Some people are saying, hey, didn't know, but guessed correctly. All right. Well, hey, now you know. You know what? I love getting notes and messages from people saying, hey, because I listen to Everyday AI daily, I read your newsletter, I got promoted. Now I run AI at our company. I love that. Y'all, I know sometimes I'm long-winded. Listen to me in 2X. That's fine. But read the newsletter every day. You are going to know more about large language models. You're going to know more about generative AI than any of your coworkers. Period. You will. I guarantee it. Y'all, I've sat down with the head of AI, I'm not going to name drop here, right? But let's just say this person was the head of AI at a multi-billion-dollar company. Huge company. And they said, I learned so much from your podcast. This is someone with decades of AI and machine learning experience. Why? Because the developments are so hard to keep up with. So if you tune into the live stream, normally, hey, if you're new here, normally the live stream podcast is about 25 to 35 minutes. This is a longer one, but this is the way you get ahead, y'all. We do the work for you. You just got to tune in. You got to read. You got to engage. All right. 23. Hey, and this is actually 23A, not 22A. Human made a mistake. But Gemini, which company, front end or API, currently has the largest context window in their large language model? The answer is 23A. 23A. I'll probably give everyone a pass on that because I made a little mistake. 23A, Gemini has a 2 million context window in 1.5 Pro. And that can actually understand videos frame by frame. Very impressive. But the front end of Gemini, I don't really like it, if I'm being honest. But for developers, pretty good, especially if you need a super long context window. Hey, thanks, Jennifer. Jennifer said, very true. I just presented on using AI in my field last week, and I told the audience to listen to you every day. Well, thanks, Jennifer. But yeah, this is a cheat code to get ahead. It is so hard to keep up with AI. That's what we're here for, y'all. Get you a raise and a promotion. All right, 24, last two. What are the different focus modes in Perplexity? The answer is 24B. The focus modes are all, academic, writing, math, video, and socials. All right. And then our last question. Ready? And this one again, I'll give everyone a pass because I forgot the word mini. But the correct answer, which modes inside of ChatGPT Plus does not allow you to upload files? Yeah, this is weird, but the brand new model, the answer is 25C GPT-4o Mini. So I'll give you all a pass on those two because some human errors on my part. But yes, 25C GPT-4o Mini. The default mode, go check it. I don't know why, but in ChatGPT Plus, if you choose GPT-4o Mini, you can't upload files. They might change that soon. I don't understand why. I think it's actually because it eats a lot of tokens compared to other models. I don't know why. I did some testing on this. It has computer vision. The new GPT-4o Mini has computer vision, but it eats up so many tokens. So maybe that's why they're still kind of tweaking how the kind of computer vision works kind of under the hood for that to work. Because on the API side, it doesn't matter because you're paying for the tokens. But on the ChatGPT side, if you're using GPT-4o Mini, it seems like it's still not very cost friendly to do that. All right. So that is it, y'all. I hope this was helpful. And let me know, did anyone get everything right? Do you think you got it right? I'm going to go through. I'm going to check. But I'm probably going to put a little leaderboard. So maybe even if you didn't get it right, you might be the smartest person out there, and that's okay. But here's how you get even smarter. Number one, you tune in every single day. Number two, you go right now to youreverydayai.com. People don't know this. You can go click on the episodes at the top or the AI learning tracks at the top. It is literally a free, I think, am I unbiased on this? No, that I think it is by far the single best free resource to learn generative AI, period. Because we have thousands of hours of content. We have more than 320 past episodes, podcasts, videos, in-depth articles that you can go read. The same thing with our newsletter. You can go back and read any single newsletter. You can literally, even if you were starting today, if this is the first time you've ever listened to this podcast, this live stream, and you just know, wow, I need to go learn AI, go to our website. It is, I'm not saying this, I'm not blowing smoke. I think it is by far the most unbiased resource for free to learn generative AI, because we're not just pushing one company. We're not pushing an agenda. We're bringing in experts from, like I said, Microsoft, from IBM, from Amazon, from all the big companies, right? So we're not just pushing one company, because if you're taking a certification or if you're learning from an Amazon or a Microsoft or a Google, they're really just pushing their product and their services, right? Which is fine. But if you want to get a well-rounded generative AI education, there is literally no better place than youreverydayai.com. And there, while you're there, make sure you sign up for today's newsletter, because we are going to be announcing again. We did this in two kind of parts here. Number one, we had our live $1,000 cash prize giveaway. If anyone got all these right, but also we are launching our Thanks a Million campaign. So as a reminder on that one, we're going to be hitting 1 million downloads here in a week or so. And we are so grateful for you. So we're going to be announcing things over the next month in our newsletter, some very literally things you cannot buy. All right. I'm just putting that out there. You have to be opening every single newsletter over the next month if you're not already, to keep an eye out on that Thanks a Million contest. So yes, there's some of the normal contest things we do, to referrals, different points, all that. So it's going to be a fun little leaderboard, because if you find value here, all we ask, right? We don't charge. We could, if we wanted to, we can make our newsletter paid only. We can make this podcast paid only. But I believe everyone needs a free, unbiased, well-researched source of generative AI information. And that's why I built Everyday AI. So if you find this helpful, please participate in the Thanks a Million campaign as we near 1 million downloads for Everyday AI. It feels weird saying that because usually it takes podcasts many years to get there. So I'm very lucky and grateful to you all for your support, for tuning in every day, even when episodes go long like this. Appreciate your support, but you need to go read today's newsletter, join that campaign, because we are going to be giving away things over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be dripping out new prizes to keep everything fresh. But right now, what I can tell you is we are going to be giving away a year of ChatGPT Plus, or whatever large language model subscription you might want, whether that's Perplexity, Claude, Google, Gemini. It's up to you. We're also giving away a 90-minute consult with myself and our team. And like I said, we're going to have a handful or more of other different prizes, giveaways, and things you can literally not buy. You are going to want to pay attention. All right. So that's it, y'all. I hope you had a good time today. Something new, something fresh. Thank you for tuning in. Please join us tomorrow and every day for more Everyday AI. Thanks, y'all.
And that's a wrap for today's edition of Everyday AI. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us a rating. It helps keep us going. For a little more AI magic, visit youreverydayai.com and sign up to our daily newsletter so you don't get left behind. Go break some barriers, and we'll see you next time.